What do you strongly suspect but have no proof of? Saying OK Google is Pavlov teaching humans to comply to AI and machines. The green man and red man on walk signals are Pavlovian teaching tools orchestrated by aliens to make us obey the little green men when they invade, and see them as our friends, and contrariwise that they're enemies. The bright red humanoids of Alpha Ceti Spaghetti Vi represent danger and want to stop us. Reddit questions are a clever way AI could compile data on every one of us. It's taking questions like what would you buy if you could only buy things with the first letter of your name? Children of the 80s what? What is it in your state/country that? It's capable of building a profile on all of us. According to our AI-generated profile you like eating ass. I didn't say it reached correct conclusions. That Bath and Body Works has like 13 unique scents. Every couple of months they just rotate the scents in and call them something else. I read something similar to this by a Yankee Candle outlet employee. Most of the scents are identical but the names get licensed so they need to be changed from what's in the actual chain stores, and half the time in those main stores the new seasonal scent has just been renamed from last season. That my wife is throwing one of each pair of socks away. Just be glad she isn't using them to wipe. Famous actors have secret accounts so they can see if their movie or name is mentioned in AskReddit replies. I'm sure you're probably right, but there's no reason they need to. You can easily set up a Google alert to track mentions of any name, movie, or other topic you want, and get an email every time it finds something. Most big sites like Reddit are constantly being crawled by Google bots, so they could even jump in while it's fresh, which is probably why we see so many cases of user says something about a book, author shows up to prove him wrong type of posts. I believe that Apple never actually intended for anyone to buy their $999 monitor stand. It was just an excuse so they could invalidate all warranty claims for the Pro monitor. We can't approve your claim due to the use of improper third-party equipment. Nice thinking. Yeah, this is a good one actually, that the majority of Reddit is bots. It's remarkable how many posts/top comments are just old posts/top comments. That my English teacher didn't read essays, and based grades on how we were in class. My English class had motion activated lights. It was so fucking boring in there that the lights would often go out. Our teacher would say in a monotone voice, move your arms around to activate the lights. This sounds like some dystopic movie. That the ginger ale at this diner I go to every day is just Coke and Sprite mixed together. It is actually not unheard of for ginger ale to be swapped out for the Coke/Sprite combo. They are just counting on you not noticing. Source, used to work in the service industry. What? How could you not notice that? I feel like I'd notice every time. But maybe I've already been fooled. That my brother stole and sold all my Ds/3Ds games for weed money. They were in a black case and one day they were gone, case and all. I still haven't beaten Pokemon Conquest frown edit. I am shocked at the amount of people that have also had this happen to them frown. It breaks my heart a sibling/parent/uncle would steal from a family member like that. And I hope you all have all the games/cards/records that you could ever want now with no one to steal them less than 3. My uncle stole my N64 for drugs when I was a kid. He told me that his friend borrowed from him but it never came back. My phone isn't really at 100% when it tells me it is. That my 5-month-old knows exactly when I'm about to fall asleep and starts crying just to fuck with me. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There is no louder, more upsetting noise to a baby than the sound of a parent's head hitting a pillow. That's why you gotta sleep on the floor twice a week to throw him off. Never let the enemy know your next move. Deleted. That my abusive stepfather went to jail, not exile, for 8 years when I was a teen, and that for a few years prior we were actually running from the law, not hiding from the government because of his activism. This suddenly dawned on me about a month ago, more than a decade later. Kinda like how it suddenly clicks that the dog didn't go to a farm. I've told this story on here before, But my wife's dog did actually go to live on a farm. The farmer was the breeder. She saw the dog numerous times over the subsequent years. Her little sister, however, found out just a year or so ago and totally thought they had the dog put down. I had a dog that actually did go to live on my cousin's farm. It dawned on me like 15 years later, and my mom said he actually did. He had a lot of energy and would bark at like every car and person, and we lived in a city. My cousin lived in a farmhouse way out in the country, and her husband was a long-distance truck driver. After they had kids and she was alone with them a lot, she wanted a dog that would bark at stuff, and my mom was like, "Have I got the dog for you?" That a lot of businesses in my hometown are just money laundering operations. 25 nail salons in a town of 70,000. 3,000 square foot DVD rental shop in the best block of downtown where commercial rents are very high. Dozens of $10 barber shops sitting empty all day but remaining open. Red flags all around. Love this one. There's some sort of metaphorical goggles you can put on and you'll just look around somewhere and see things slightly out of perspective and it just stands out. Like seriously, when have you ever seen someone walk into a mattress store? And yet I've accepted the fact that they're so common and haven't thought twice about it. Edit. Obviously I'm not convinced all mattress stores are scheming money laundering operations. It was just an example and I found it interesting. I'm just saying, go outside without your personal bias or normal behavior. You might see something new. In my hometown, there's a mattress store connected to a pizza place that is open until 4 a.m. It is always deserted. I think my local newspaper and news stations make up fake Facebook profiles to post inflammatory statements in the comment sections of their news releases. There are frequent commenters whose profiles have a basic name, no friends/random intonation friends, basic profile information, and only one profile picture, who will make some outlandish comment that starts a war. Dentists ask you questions with all that stuff in your mouth because they think it's funny to watch you struggle. Wife is a dental assistant. I asked her this. She says it's to distract the patient to make them feel it didn't take as long as it really did. Edit. All you introverts, I totally understand. But dentists are medical professionals. If it makes it worse for you, no problem. Just talk to them and explain. It will be fine. I had a dentist who used to sing. Lovely man he was. Great Welsh accent. That Apple invented the AirPod meme. I think most companies invent memes about their products in order to sell more. Cornhole is a conspiracy by the insurance industry because they feel horseshoes is too dangerous. This is the kind of low-stakes conspiracy I could get into. More like no/stakes, since horseshoes is the one you actually have to shove something in the ground for. That my father was in a super secret sector of the military during his service in the Vietnam War. Unfortunately, he died 2 years ago, so I'll probably never know what he really did. https://www.archives.go/veterans/military service records. You can request his records. Every unit he was in will be on them. Oh shit, I should do this for my grandpa. Several years ago he offhandedly told my mom and I that he was a cryptologist, actually maybe a crypto-linguist, in Korea with the top secret clearance. This was the one and only time he's ever stated this. My mom, his daughter, didn't even know until that day. Historians plus 200 years from now will be able to look at all of the private messages and data of people who have been long dead. Similar to how we can read private letters of people from 1700s. The issue is that digital records are by no means permanent. Sure. But I'd be amazed if Google, Apple, FB, etc. don't have extensive data on me and every other user. Messages, photos, videos, links. Everyone I know who works at these places know that it's all sitting on a server somewhere. There's one company in a town local to me who board up windows. Nobody else in the area seems to do it. Every single window, door, abandoned shop, all done by this one company. They've got a ridiculous sized HQ, and have put a decent amount of money towards fixing up other buildings in the area. So I've got a theory they're the ones doing the damage or paying people to do it, and then obviously getting the job of fixing it up as they're really well known in the area. Despite having no proof of this, I am 100% confident I am onto them. Someone was repeatedly breaking my BJJ gym's windows. My gym being heavily populated by cops and pies set up surveillance and caught the window repair guy doing it. My pa grew up in Brooklyn in the 60s and on up. For a few months every Saturday night there was a handful of car windows smashed. Guess what? Only one car window repair shop open on Sunday. Dun dun dun. They staked out neighborhoods around the shop that was open. As you guessed, the genius owner was going around with a slingshot shooting our people's windows on Saturday nights to drum up business. Some zoos have empty exhibits and just claim the animal is in there, you just never see them. Somewhat unrelated. I was just thinking how cool a nocturnal zoo would be. Only open at night and they specialize in species that only are awake at night. That'd be sweet. Probably no business but cool nonetheless. Check out Singapore's night safari. I strongly suspect that everyone hates me, but I literally have no proof. Don't be silly, not everyone knows you. The Kardashians usually wear solid colored clothing because it's easier for them to Photoshop. Excellent observation. I think my great-great-uncle was gay, but lived in a time where he had to hide that part of himself. He never had a wife or kids. He traveled a lot and was very into art. I asked my grandma a while back if she thought he was gay and she said he just wasn't interested in having girlfriends. That's a funny way for your grandma to tell you he was gay. Queen Elizabeth will probably live up to 120 years and longer. She is one of the best fed and most cared person on earth. If we invented something for immortality already, she likely took it already. So did Betty White then. That my ex-wife's boyfriend hurts my boys. They used to tell me it happened but I never had proof. I then saw a mark one day and they said it was cause of the boyfriend and she explained it away. All of these times I'd call CPS and nothing came of it. One time my boy told CPS that when he talks bad about the boyfriend, mom hits him, but still nothing happened. After that point they stopped telling me things, which in my opinion means that they are just afraid of being hit by mom for telling me things about the boyfriend. Can you get an emergency petition for custody filed by your lawyer to the court? If you feel like your children are in danger you can request one. Edit, for those naysaying what I suggested, I did exactly this. I'm a very similar situation. I got full custody of my child. It cost me a lot, but nearly a decade later and my child is now a teenager and doing great. Toddler pageants are just dog whistles for pedophile rings to operate in the background. I wish I had stayed ignorant to this idea for the rest of my life. I work for a call center for the marketplace in the US. There was no interview, barely any training, super high turnover and super low morale. None of their decisions make sense. The entire operation almost feels like it's trying to work as poorly as possible so everyone hates it.